Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The situation in Kharkiv is shitty for NATO or for Ukraine. The Russians just liberated two more villages. The Ukrainians retreated from those villages, and the Russians are in an offensive. They advance. Now, I will show you, including the fact that the Ukrainians, how do you call that? Let me just figure out a word here. They evacuate people from the oblast. I will show you a few articles, about 10, how things evolved, how the media contradicted itself, how they lied, and what is going on in Kharkiv mostly, which is the newest the newest front that the Russians opened. I will show you two maps as well. But let's start with the first article, and that comes actually from yesterday because I will build on it chronologically. So here it is, Ukrinform. Let me put my goggles on. Ukraine's intel chief, if you remember, Budanov, said yesterday on the 14th that the situation with Russian offensive on Kharkiv region has stabilized. So that was stabilized, and then he used all kind of euphemisms here. I covered that yesterday, and it's just an opinion in principle. So let me show you how this guy frames the situation yesterday. The phase of the Russian border operation in Kharkiv region is currently underway. It is not true to say that the enemy is having significant success. I think it's not true what you say, but hey, you gotta do it. At the same time, it should be remembered that the situation is quite tense, changing very quickly and dynamic. However, as of yesterday evening, in my opinion, I don't like opinions, I like assessments, there was a rapid trend towards stabilization, a rapid trend, okay? That is, in principle, not in reality, the enemy has already been blocked at the lines where he was able to enter, okay? So in the principle is blocked, in reality, okay, so that's the first one. So we're gonna build on this idea that they stabilized the front. So we have Ukraine withdraws troops around Kharkiv as Russian offensive gathers pace. So they're advancing, and these guys are withdrawing troops from Kharkiv. Now this is according to NBC News, which must be true. And this is from, guess what? From today, May 15th, 2024 at 4:57 a.m. Updated at 7:39 a.m. So here it is. Today, this guy says, wait a minute, these guys withdraw troops, and the Russian offensive gathers pace. So I guess the blocked thing, the stopped offensive, is not happening anything. Russia's new offensive gained momentum Wednesday, which is today, around Ukraine's second largest city. The latest gut punch for Kiev as it struggles to contain this new front in the war following delays in crucial military aid from the United States. This is the blame game. No, you lack manpower. That's the main thing. They're gonna send you how much weapons you want. You will not have manpower. Here is the map. So let's put things in a view, how do you call it, in a visual perspective. This is the map of Ukraine. This is where the hostilities actively occur, which face to face, and Kharkov is this beautiful oblast. So this is where all the garbage occurs now. Also, you have here in Kupiansk offensive this way, but it's been stabilized here. But here, this is the new front. And this is Kharkiv by the Russians, Kharkiv by the Ukrainians, and this is where the Russians advance. Now, Vovchansk was liberated by the Russians, were conquered, and the Ukrainians withdrew. And then there's another village here on this, how should I put it, left front or right front, depends how you look at it. Again, and they left another city, another village. I will show you our settlement. I will show you a more detailed map on that one as we get closer. This is not updated, this is from yesterday, but the other one, which is right here, okay, I knew you're gonna show up. This is going to give us an update how the front looks. So let's go back to this article, and this comes from the Ukrainians MENA FN, or Ukrinform. Ukraine withdraws troops from some Kharkiv positions. So if you withdraw, what does it mean? So the Ukrainian army on Wednesday said that it has been forced to withdraw soldiers from some of its positions in the northeastern Ukrainian region that has been the target of new Russian offensive in recent days. And we're going to find out exactly where they withdraw from. And I'm quoting, as a result of combat and offensive actions by the enemy, not stabilized, our units carried out a maneuver at certain sections. Well, what's going on with these guys? They're gonna play with me? These guys are always have a little problem. Okay, right here. Carried out a maneuver at certain sections in the Lukiantsi and Vovchansk area and moved to more advantageous positions. So they move a maneuver. They withdraw. I'm going to show you more. Withdrew. They maneuvers. Positions in order to save the lives of our soldiers and avoid casualties. You should just talk to the Russians and how you save lives. Talk to the Russians, leave these guys alone, push them out and be independent. That's how you solve problems. Next one. DPA International. Ukraine withdraws troops from some Kharkiv positions. This is May 15 at 4:46 a.m. It's very important to look at the time and the date, especially the time and today on Wednesday, because you're going to see how these guys reported certain things that the Ukrainians denied, and then they came with other claims, even idiotic, after 6 hours after that. So this was at 4:44, and you're going to find out some articles at 11 a.m. The Ukrainians will say something that contradicts this, that they withdrew. It's just a war, we understand that, and people lie more under those circumstances because they have more to lose, and that's the way it goes. The Ukrainian army says it has been forced to withdraw soldiers from some of the positions. And again, the same quote from the other article, and it says Lukiantsi and Vovchansk. And let's go and try to find those things here. I know that Vovchansk is right. Come on, are you working with me today? All right, here. And I know you can do it better. All right, I knew you can do it. I'm gonna make you do it. Come on. Frustration? Yeah, you guess it right. All right. So they show here Vovchansk being not occupied yet, right there, but I saw earlier that it was showed differently. And the other one is on the other side of the map, is on this here, as it doesn't go further in this area. Here is Vovchansk, and the other one is on the other side, on here, the other town, in this area here underneath this. But hey, what can you do? You work with what you have. So this is already, they retreated out of that, and the other one is on, go to this one right here. See how it looked yesterday, and today it looks much different, even though I saw a map where they say Vovchansk, which is right here. The Russians are at the outskirts. They retreated. They're out of it. Okay, and let's go next to this. Ukrainska Pravda. Russians in Kharkiv Oblast remain inactive since the day's beginning regroup. Again, as I said, contradiction. So this is according to Ukrainska Pravda 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago, they said the Russians in Kharkiv Oblast remain inactive since the day's beginning regroup. But we have all those articles from the 15th today that withdraw. These guys withdraw because of the offensive. This guy, again, they withdrew. Then we have these ones, again withdrew. And then these guys tell us the Russians are inactive. Okay. The Russians have not conducted active operations since the beginning of the day, instead trying to consolidate their positions and regroup on the Kharkiv front. Source is today on the 15th of May at 11:30. 11:30. And these guys are what? This is 4:57 a.m. These are what? 5:50 a.m. This is Ukrainian media outlet, just so you know. The other one, obviously, American. This is, again, American is 4:46. What's going on over there? a.m. And these guys tell us that they didn't do anything as of 11:30. a.m. And we have here at, again, 9:14, and it's a Ukrainian, 9:14 on today's date, Ukrainska Pravda, Ukrainian defenders repel 18 attacks in Kharkiv front and withdraw from Lukiantsi and Vovchansk general staff. And they show you here where they withdrew from. Lukiantsi, right here. So that's where they withdrew. That would be on this map out here. And the other map, which is a little bit more sensitive, and I don't like it. I mean, it has its ups and downs. Let's put it this way. In this area right here. So they're out of that area. There's more here than it was on that. Where is it? The article. Right here. So this is where they withdrew as well. So next article. This is Ukrainska Pravda. Ukrainian forces say Russian attempt to break through defenses in Kharkiv Oblast stopped. Situation somewhat stabilized. Again, they come with this piece of information. They stabilize the situation after these guys did what they did. All right. Next article. Ukrinform. And this is again from today at 12:41. Ukraine stops Russia's attempts to break through. Defense lines in east, fighting ongoing on Lukiantsi and Vovchansk, the one that they withdrew. How is it fighting ongoing when you said you withdrew? What do you mean? These guys withdrew, and this is at 9:14 a.m. So this is earlier than this right here, which is at 12:41. All right, fighting ongoing. Okay, the situation at the front in the area of Lukiantsi and Vovchansk in Kharkiv region remains difficult, but under Ukraine's control. Yeah, because you withdrew, obviously. So, next one. The new Voice of Ukraine reports again at 6 a.m. today. Vovchansk faces invasion. Russian forces advance amid ongoing battles. The Bild, German tabloid, reports. Remember, this is 6. So, Russian forces advance and Vovchansk faces invasion. What was that article where they say they didn't see anything, no activity? Where's that title? Remember where I said, right here. This was 1 hour ago here, so it is way after 11 a.m. Russians in Kharkiv Oblast remain inactive since the day's beginning. Regroup. Okay, the other guy says, wait a minute. These guys advance and Vovchansk faces invasion because you withdrew in the face of the invasion. Next, they say, no evacuation from Kharkiv planned. Residents from Oblast being evacuated city. What do you mean? So here they say no evacuation from Kharkiv planned. So Kharkiv the city. But residents from the Oblast are brought in the city. And then they say that civilians are dead because the Russians attacked the city. No, you should take them in the western part of Ukraine. Move them out of the situation. You bring them in Kharkiv. The Russians will attack Kharkiv or Kharkov. And you're going to say, see, these guys killed civilians. And you have your military inside the city of Kharkiv. Well, okay, the Russians are bad, but what are you? Right? I mean, the Russians want to take your territory. But what are you doing? You save lives. What? By bringing the civilians from the oblast or the county of the Zhudets, how you want to call it, bring it in the city. You put them over there so the Russians say, okay, now we got everyone over there. So as bad as we are, we're just going to hit a few times and we're going to bring everything to rubble. Does it make sense? And let's see what these guys are saying. There are no plans to evacuate the population of certain groups of residents from the city of Kharkiv as of 15th of May, today, Wednesday. On the contrary, people are currently coming to the city from those settlements in Kharkiv Oblast where active hostilities are taking place. So, okay, they said no, but then said the official noted that over 6,000 people have arrived in the city and they are being housed in student accommodation and provided with everything possible to make them feel more or less protected. Send them the fuck away from Kharkiv. That would be my order. And then you have this last article. This is from, again, May 14th. So this is May 14th, not May 15th, yesterday. Over 7,500 civilians evacuated from northern Kharkiv Oblast. But these guys, where are they going? They are going to Kharkiv city. So bring them over there and concentrate them over there, and then the Russians will, and then you can show it to the world how bad the Russians really are. Over 7,500 civilians in the north of Kharkiv Oblast have been evacuated from their homes amid heavy fighting in the region. Or of the 7,531 people who have been evacuated so far, 568 are children and 201 are people with disabilities. How many are in Gaza again? How many children were killed in Gaza? I'm sorry, died in Gaza? You can't say they're killed. Died? Jesus Christ. Russia launched a new offensive. Okay, we got that one. According to Ukrinform, 5,000 people from Vovchansk district have been evacuated. Vovchansk, which had a population of 17,000 people before the full-scale invasion, came under Russian occupation in February 2022. The town was liberated on September 11, 2022 during Ukraine's successful counteroffensive in Kharkiv Oblast, which the Russians said, we retreated. Now, which one is it? I think both. Anyway, so here it is. The Russians continue their attack, occupy 2 cities. These guys retreat from those cities, bring people in Kharkiv, civilians in the city of Kharkiv from the Kharkiv Oblast, instead of sending them further away. That's it. And then they probably, after the Russians advance and get closer to Kharkiv city, and they do what they do best, being bad, then this guy's going to show, see how many civilians. Who brought the civilians over there? Why don't you do like Paris in the Second World War? Declare it an open city. Therefore, Hitler, that bad dude, the most evil guy in the world, he didn't flatten Paris. And I know there's some stories that Hitler ordered the flattening of Paris when he was losing the war, and he ordered retreat of the German troops from Paris. He ordered, but the general over there did not follow his orders. Bull shit. Anyway, believe whatever you read, verify. Okay, the same here. Whatever I'm saying, verify. Verify. Not only from one source, from many other sources. Be skeptical. The mother of knowledge. All right, my friends, here it is. One of them. We have many mothers somehow. So here it is, my friends. Situation over there is shitty. And the Ukrainians sent an envoy to Washington, D.C. to ask the Americans for permission to hit inside Russia with American weapons, like Attack MS. For instance, they're going to get longer. One day they're going to hit Jesus Christ, Moscow. Here it is. Things that are going to get to nuclear threat, straight nuclear threat, I think 2 years too late. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.